the Virginia Horse Industry Board, Southwest Virginia Agricultural Association, and the Virginia Christmas Tree Growers Association are proud sponsors of Virginia Farming.
This program's brought to you by the Virginia Farm Bureau. Large or small, Virginia farmers work year-round to help put food on your table. And Farm Bureau works year-round to help farmers and all Virginians. Farming, it's all good. To learn more, go to vafarmbureau.org.
Brought to you by Farm Family. Life, auto, business, farm. Nancy Asher, stable owner, visionary, agent of change. Another personal story on farmfamilypeople.com. Farm Family, the people you know. Hi everybody, welcome to Virginia Farming. I'm Amy Rocher. This week we'll visit Mountain View Farm in Edinburgh and talk to Steve Rhoades about what it takes to run a Christmas tree farm. Then we'll talk about the importance of winter pruning when we join Mark Viette in the garden. And as always, we'll have a Minute in the Field video. All this plus the ag news of the week on this edition of Virginia Farming. Governor Bob McDonnell announced the formal opening of a representative trade office in Canada focused on increasing agricultural and forestry product exports to the region. Virginia Secretary of Agriculture Todd Haymore said because we are geographically close and easily accessible by truck and rail, Virginia's focus will be on increasing business and trade opportunities in eastern Canada, thus helping increase employment in the Commonwealth. Now, for every dollar in agricultural exports, it generates $1.40 of in-state business activity to process, package, finance, and ship the products. With the Canadian office established, Virginia now has agricultural trade offices in 8 locations around the world, including some of the fastest growing regions and countries. Well, the USDA's National Agricultural Statistics Service will release preliminary results of the 2012 Census of Agriculture on February 20th, 2014. The release, which will provide an initial look at national and state findings, will take place at the Ag Outlook Forum. This national census is the most comprehensive county-by-county look at agriculture in America. NASS will release the full census results at a later date and is working to set a revised schedule that ensures the highest quality data. Well, the holiday season is here, and the USDA has some helpful hints for holiday meal planning and for after the holiday meals are over. The USDA's Bob Ellison has more.
It's the season for holiday parties, leftovers, and makeovers, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture has advice on making this time of year a bit easier and healthier.
This is a time in which you want to enjoy friends, you want to enjoy families, you want to be healthy, and you want to do the things that are going to be as stress-free as they possibly can so that you yourself can be happy this holiday.
And USDA's ChooseMyPlate.gov website has advice on meal planning with healthy, low-fat, and low-sodium recipes.
ChooseMyPlate.gov does give you a super tracker tool that lets you put in the information that you have on what you're going to serve. It will tell you what the nutrient values are, and then you can make some decisions as do I want to do this or do I want to do that.
And when the parties are over, you can also find advice on how to use that extra food.
How to make the meal stretch beyond just that one day. How do you use leftovers? What is the opportunity to do makeovers with some of the leftovers that you have? It provides a wealth of information for makeovers and also for extending those meals that you have into another week or two.
For advice on meal planning and other health tips, go to ChooseMyPlate.gov. In Washington, D.C., for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, I'm Bob Ellison.
Thanks, Bob. Turkey and ham are not the only things being cut right now. The USDA's Farm Service Agency is reminding farmers and ranchers who participate in FSA programs to plan accordingly in the 2014 fiscal year for automatic spending cuts known as sequestration. The Budget Control Act of 2011 mandates that federal agencies implement automatic annual reductions to discretionary and mandatory spending limits. The FSA is implementing sequestration for numerous programs, and information about these programs is available at fsa.gov. farmbureau.usda.gov. Now, we do know that Conservation Reserve Program payments are specifically exempt by statute from sequestration and will not be reduced. FSA will provide notification as early as possible on the specific payment reductions. Well, while searching for that perfect tree this year, you might find more than just trees. Many Virginia Christmas tree farms are adding shops with wreaths, ornaments, gifts, as well as hosting events that everyone in the family will love.
For us, we wanted to give people, our customers, an experience that we knew we would enjoy. And certainly going to the country and on a beautiful day and looking for a tree and coming to a Christmas shop like ours where we've got warm hot cider, all the things you could possibly use for your home decor for the holidays, gifts you can give friends, or even holiday gifts for your own home, I think is something that really special that we wanted to offer. I want it to be more of an experience than just picking up a tree and scratching it off their list.
Teresa Gregson and her husband Jeff are new to Christmas tree farming. Their farm has been around for 12 years, but this is their first year as owners, and they've made a few changes.
Well, I hope they'll find the same wonderful customer service, and I expect that they will be a little surprised that we may have gone a little overboard with the Christmas shop. We've got a whole lot more stuff than they've seen in the past, but I hope they're going to enjoy it, and I hope they're going to notice the changes outside with places to sit, and the fire pit is really giving them an opportunity to hang around longer.
Of course, a lot of Virginia tree farms offer the traditional greenery.
Some of the customers like to see the same wreath that they had before. Others like to see different things, so we try to find things that they might be interested in. And then you like to make the same wreath types that you're going to, like the traditional, that has a bow, a red bow, and some pine cones, and maybe some berries on it.
You may also find some tree-related products as well.
We have tree stands. We have a product that helps you out with watering your trees. I wasn't too sure about the watering spouts. Well, we went through the entire case last year. So, and that was before the end of the season. So I thought, well, I'll just look around for something different. And we have this year a little, it's almost like a little foot pedal that you press and all of your lights will come on your Christmas tree.
These value-added sales help offset the owner's expenses.
What a lot of people don't realize is that you lose almost 50% of every tree you plant. And that's a pretty big expense. Sometimes it's from the weather-related things, sometimes it's from bug-related things, and sometimes it's just from people stepping on a little tree when they're out picking up their big tree. But it's about 50%. So I think if you are going to try to augment your business, you need to look at doing it in other ways, and that's certainly what we were trying to do.
You can find a tree farm near you by visiting virginiagrown.com. Plan a holiday excursion and create a family tradition at a Virginia Christmas tree farm.
They see it for themselves and kind of experience for themselves. I think it's going to be just wonderful. I just wish I'd have had a place like this to go when my children were small, to be able to bring them out, cut a tree, and have a cup of hot cider, maybe roast a s'more, and then come inside and do a little shopping on, all at once.
Virginia's varying climate and soils make great growing grounds for Christmas trees. Today, we'll visit Mountain View Farm to learn more about Virginia-grown Christmas trees. That's coming up straight ahead on Ag Insights. Today, we're in Edinburgh, Virginia, at a farm called Mountain View Farm. It's a Christmas tree farm, and I'm here with owner Steve Rhoades. Steve, thanks for having us out today.
Glad you could come. Our pleasure.
So my first question is, what on earth made you decide to start to have a Christmas tree farm?
Well, a few years before I was going to retire from my previous job at the Federal Reserve Board in Washington, I got to thinking about what will I do after I retire. And at the time, my job as an economist had just totally taken up my life. And I enjoyed it immensely, but that's all I did. I didn't fish, I didn't play tennis, didn't play golf. And I thought I better have something in mind that I will be doing after I retire. So my wife and I started talking to people about it. A friend at work suggested tree farming. That seemed like for me, a very good choice because of my interest in being outdoors and working outdoors. I've always enjoyed it, wanted to be a forest ranger when I was a kid, and my wife loves to grow just about anything. So we then joined the Virginia Christmas Tree Growers Association. I was still at the board and went to their annual meetings for about 3 years before I retired. I read quite a number of books on growing Christmas trees, and all the way around it seemed like this would be a good match for us. So we did it. I retired in the year 2000. We bought this farm in 2001, and in the fall of 2001 we planted our first approximately 1,500 trees.
So how many acres do you have here?
We have a total of 45 acres, and probably about 13 acres are in trees.
Can you walk me through the life of a tree, when you plant it and what you do to take care of it until it's ready to go home with someone?
First off, for those of your viewers who might be concerned that by getting a real Christmas tree they're deforesting the mountains, it's not happening like that these days. As you can see looking out here, that these are grown just like a field crop. And every time someone cuts a tree, we will the following year wind up planting another tree. The trees that we get come from very large nurseries located in various states outside of Virginia. And in these large nurseries, they grow from seed. And the size that we buy is usually 4 years old by the time we buy it. And beginning there is just care for the tree for the next, depending on the kind of tree, but most of them it's going to be 8 to 9 years. You'll have some that may be ready in 7, some may be as many as 12, but 8 to 9 years for the sort of average tree that folks like to have. In addition to that, during that period, from the time the tree is very, very little, maintenance goes on. You want to be sure that you have only one single leader that's going up to be a trunk all the way up. If you don't start tending that when the tree is small, you can wind up with 2 or 3 leaders, and when the tree gets to perhaps 3 feet tall, 2.5 to 3 feet tall, that leader finally on a lot of the trees will really start growing. It may grow as much as 2 to 3 feet in a year. And it's also at about that size, 3 feet, 4 feet, that you do 2 other things. You start shaping the tree because you start getting some limbs that'll grow out rather wildly, even though fundamentally the tree may have a natural conical shape. Also, we like to try to early on start cutting the lower limbs off. When these trees are little, they've got limbs growing out right near the ground. And to us, it's really a good idea early on to work those limbs up, pruning them off to the point where you've got maybe about a foot of what they call a handle. Just so you can get under there with the Roundup, you can mow, and your mower can get under there. And when it comes time to cut the things, it makes it reasonably easy to get down there and cut the tree.
So Virginia has very rich soils and different climates, but you're located here in the northern Shenandoah Valley. What types of trees grow well here?
For starters, on the soil that we have here, it's a relatively heavy soil, which makes growing firs a little bit problematic because it is a heavy soil. We've had soil tests done. The soil there's a lot of nutrition. It's good soil. As a matter of fact, I've done enough research into this, done some experimentation, and I've actually found we have no need for fertilizer. We do no fertilizing these trees. The ones that grow the most easily for us are certainly the spruces, Norway spruce and blue spruce. The Douglas fir generally grows quite easily. We have quite a bit of success also with the Canaan fir. In any event, luckily, we've been able to plant that and grow them generally quite successfully. If we happen to be in an area that's a little wetter, the soil is just a little too wet, they don't make it too well there. We have a relatively high die-off rate of the Canaan firs. As a consequence, that's one of our highest priced trees. Well, actually, firs in general are, because they don't survive nearly as well as, say, the Norway spruce.
The Canaan fir. Now, are those the ones that have the orange scent?
No, that is the concolor or white fir.
Okay.
And they do have something of an orangey scent. We don't have too many of those. The places we've tried planting them, we've had marginal success. We do have some. when people come out asking for that scent, and I think they've been encouraged to do so by an article a couple of years ago in the Washington Post. We started having people come in asking for concolor firs. We don't have too many, but if they like that citrus scent, we have a variety of Douglas fir. It's from the seed source is the Lincoln National Forest, I think that's in Arizona. And that has a very, I'd call it a lemony scent, very distinct lemony scent that's at least as potent as the scent from the concolor firs. There's a substitute in a sense, but it's not the orangey smell, it's more of a lemony smell in the Douglas fir.
On our walk up here, we passed some really interesting trees. They were very blue and very distinctive looking. Tell me about those trees.
That's a blue ice cypress. It has a very, very strong fragrance, and to some people pleasant. And when we've had them a couple of times in our house for Christmas, it was interesting, the fragrance persisted for longer by far than any other tree we've had in the house. So it's a pretty neat tree. For some people, they like it also because it doesn't have needles, being a cypress.
So what is your biggest seller here at Mountain View Farm?
I'd say at this point probably the Canaan fir. We don't have as many Canaan fir as we did this year. And they were starting to run down some last year, and our Douglas firs were getting larger, so the Douglas firs have been going out in fairly large numbers. So I would say it's Canaan fir, Douglas fir, and Norway spruce. The Norway spruce, if you go look at one of those, it looks like the perfect Christmas tree. It's absolutely, to me, absolutely gorgeous as a tree. You have to be more careful with those than any of the other trees in keeping the water in the pot to keep them fresh. They keep their color beautifully. They will have some tendency to lose perfectly fresh green needles. The tree is healthy, but it's almost like it's a biological response to being cut off and losing its water source. But that tree is a big seller because people walk past it and just go gaga over the look of the tree.
That's the one.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think makes Virginia Christmas trees so special?
Well, I think it's people purchasing them are buying a local product. They're supporting the local economy. They're supporting the state. You know, we do pay state sales taxes here, so they're supporting it. It's very fresh. It hasn't had to be carted in from Michigan or Washington State. A big part of being a Virginia tree is the fact that it should be relatively fresh. A, and B, the other thing is you're supporting the local economy.
You've been doing this since 2001. I assume you have a lot of return customers?
Yes. The bulk of the customers are returning customers, actually. We're in we're in a rural area, comparatively isolated, so it's a limited number of folks we're drawing from in toward Washington, Fairfax and Arlington and Alexandria and even Manassas. We get some people from there, but you've got to rely on returning customers. That's one reason we go out of our way to try to provide really good service to people when they come out here. We try to have the fields, as you can see right now, they're really clean and really tidy. And we are almost obsessive about cleaning out the trees, because a lot of folks, when they buy real trees, they find that junk will come out of the trees. Well, a lot of that junk that comes out of the trees is perfectly natural stuff that had died on the inside of the tree. As the years go on, you only have the last year or two or maybe 3 years worth of needles on there. Everything in toward the trunk from there over time that dies off. And if you don't clean that debris out, you can have a large collection of that stuff that will come out. So we were really almost obsessive about going in, hand cleaning the tree first, and then we have a really good tree shaker here, and we'll shake it with the tree shaker as well.
What do you think is the #1 mistake Christmas tree buyers make when they take this tree home?
My guess is, I don't know because I don't go home with the tree, but my customers, some of them who've become regular customers, probably have become rather tired of my annual little finger shaking and lecturing. Now be sure to keep water on my tree, I say. But that's the #1 thing. That makes that, it's unbelievable. That really and truly makes a huge difference.
Well, Steve, thank you so much for having us here today. We really do appreciate it. It's been a great visit.
Well, thank you for coming. We enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you did enjoy it. And if you have any questions when you go back to the shop, please give me a call. We'd be glad to help you.
We'll do that. Thank you so much. If you need to find a Virginia Christmas tree farm near you, you can visit virginiachristmastrees.org. We'll be right back. Pruning deciduous trees in the winter helps thin them out, but there are a lot of do's and don'ts. With tips, here's Mark Viette.
Winter pruning allows you to prune a lot of your deciduous trees. These are trees that lose their leaves, you know, like oak trees and maple trees and some of your smaller shrubs. Anything that is diseased or damaged, remember, can be pruned pretty much throughout the whole year. But what we're going to focus on also is what type of pruning you can do throughout the winter months. And one of those is thinning out your tree. You know, when there's leaves on a tree, it's really hard to see which branches to remove and which branches to leave. But when all the leaves fall down to the ground, you can pretty much look throughout the whole tree and find your branches you want to eliminate. You know, some people take a little spray can and spray the ones they want to take. Sometimes I even take a little ribbon and tie it on a branch I want to take. But I walk around the tree again and again to really evaluate the tree, because remember, once you've pruned a branch, it's gone. Now, one of the things you do need to keep in mind on your branches is there are certain points where the branch attaches to the stem where they can be removed, and that point is a natural branch collar. When you're pruning your branches, you don't want to prune inside that natural branch collar, or you don't really want to leave stubs or prune outside that natural branch collar. And here is a great example of a natural branch collar, which we'll go ahead and prune. To relieve the pressure on the branch, if the branch is small, just take a hand shears and you can go through just like that and prune, so that reduces the weight. It is important when you start pruning that you notch underneath so you don't strip down the bark. And I'm cutting right outside the branch collar, and it's really quick and easy. And that's it. It's that simple. Improper pruning and leaving stubs like you see here puts the plant in a disadvantaged state. It really can't heal from this type of damage. And you'll sometimes notice even splitting down the bark. But what you want to do is come back and cut to a bud or to a branch. Always, it's important to notch underneath so you don't strip the bark down the tree, and then come in from the top and right outside that branch collar, just like this, just prune, a nice smooth prune like this, and then your branch will heal over time, and then your tree will live many more years. You notice that I'm standing on the ground and I'm not standing on a ladder. A lot of accidents happen with people up on ladders trying to prune their tree. It's important at that point, when you need to get up in a tree, hire a professional. You know, some of these large branches that are 3 or 4 inches in diameter weigh hundreds of pounds, and people standing under the tree can also be hurt by that branch falling on them. What you really want to try to accomplish is to thin out your tree and open up the center of the tree so you could throw a softball or a football through it. So just come in here, right outside the branch collars, prune the little branches with the shears, and what you'll find is the larger branches can be pruned with really good heavy-duty equipment like this. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to prune that branch out. I want to remove that branch. I want to take this branch that's coming back out into the tree like this. This is great because you can evaluate as you prune and prune more as you look at the tree and thin it out. I really don't like to prune out any more than maybe 20% at any one point in time. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.
That does it for our show. Thanks for watching and have a great week. I'm Amy Rocher for Virginia Farming.
This program's brought to you by the Virginia Farm Bureau. From apples to zucchini, Virginia farmers work hard to put food on your table. And Farm Bureau works year-round to help farmers and all Virginians. Farming, it's all good. To learn more, go to vafarmbureau.org.
Brought to you by Farm Family. Life, auto, business, farm. Steve Morse, fruit grower, distiller, entrepreneur. Another personal story on farmfamilypeople.com. Farm Family, the people you know.